The champagne had barely stopped fizzing when it became clear. The 2026 Golden Globe Awards weren't just another Hollywood party, they were a power shift. From the moment Timothée Chalamet's name echoed through the ballroom, the night took on a pulse all its own. This wasn't merely a win. It was a declaration, a carefully placed exclamation point at the end of a year where Chalamet didn't just act, he commanded the screen. By the time the lights dimmed and the final trophy was raised, one truth rang louder than any standing ovation: the Oscars race officially has a frontrunner. And while film history was being quietly rewritten, television was staging a takeover of its own. The Pitt and The Studio emerged as the undisputed kings of the small screen, sweeping categories and solidifying themselves as the defining shows of the year. Prestige, popularity, and cultural impact rolled into one. This was a Golden Globes ceremony fueled by reinvention, risk-taking, and a bold embrace of the future. The winners didn't just collect trophies. They claimed territory, a night that set the tone for awards season. The Golden Globes have always been Hollywood's mood ring, less rigid than the Oscars, less niche than Critics' Awards, but uniquely positioned to reveal where momentum is heading. This year, that momentum moved with startling clarity. Gone were the safe choices. Gone were the legacy wins handed out of respect rather than relevance. Instead, the 2026 Globes leaned into cultural heat, storytelling ambition, and performances that didn't merely impress, they lingered. Every acceptance speech felt charged. Every upset felt intentional, and every sweep carried meaning. Timothée Chalamet, from star to standard-bearer. When Timothée Chalamet took the stage to accept his Golden Globe, the room shifted. Not because the win was unexpected, but because of what it represented. Chalamet has spent the last decade threading an impossible needle: indie credibility, blockbuster appeal, and generational influence. But this year, something crystallized. His performance wasn't just praised, it was unavoidable. Industry voters didn't simply reward his talent. They acknowledged his evolution. Where once he was Hollywood's prodigy, he now stands as its North Star. His Golden Globe win instantly reframed the Oscars conversation. Analysts whispered it. Campaign strategists recalibrated. Rivals took notice. This wasn't a trial balloon, it was a launch. The performance itself was layered, restrained, and devastating in its quiet power. Chalamet didn't beg for attention. He earned it, moment by moment, scene by scene, until the audience had no choice but to follow. As awards season stretches ahead, one thing is already clear: beating Timothée Chalamet won't be easy, and ignoring him is impossible. Film winners. Big swings, bigger statements. This year's film categories reflected a broader industry reckoning, one that favors originality, emotional risk, and bold storytelling over formula. Best Motion Picture, Drama. The winning drama wasn't just a film, it was an experience. One that challenged viewers, polarized critics, and ultimately prevailed because it refused to compromise. Its victory sent a message: complexity is no longer a liability. It's an asset. Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. In contrast, the comedy-musical category celebrated joy without apology. Sharp writing, fearless performances, and an infectious energy carried it to the top. It proved that entertainment and artistry aren't opposites, they're partners. Best Director. The directing win honored vision over vanity. Every frame bore intention. Every choice served story. This was a triumph for filmmakers who trust audiences to keep up. Best Screenplay. Dialogue that cut deep. Structure that surprised. A script that actors fought to perform. The screenplay winner reminded Hollywood that everything begins on the page. Acting wins that defined the year. Beyond Chalamet's crowning moment, the acting categories delivered a masterclass in range. Best Actress, Drama. This was a performance built on restraint rather than spectacle. Subtle glances carried as much weight as monologues. The win honored emotional intelligence and patience. Best Actress, Musical or Comedy. Timing, charm, and razor-sharp instincts propelled this performance to victory. The audience laughed, but they also leaned in. Best Supporting Actor and Actress. These wins underscored a truth long known to actors: there are no small roles, only unforgettable ones. Each supporting performance elevated its film, and in doing so, earned its place in awards history. Television takes the throne. If film set the tone, television owned the night. The rise of the Pitt. The Pitt didn't just win, it dominated. From acting categories to top series honors, the show proved that gritty storytelling still resonates when paired with emotional authenticity. Its characters felt lived in. Its conflicts felt urgent, and its wins felt inevitable. This wasn't just a critical darling. It was a phenomenon. Why the studio couldn't be stopped. Where the pit delivered raw intensity, the studio offered razor-sharp satire. Industry insiders recognized themselves in its characters, and laughed anyway. Winning multiple awards, the studio solidified itself as television's most self-aware success story. It skewered Hollywood while celebrating it, a balancing act few shows manage without tipping into cynicism. TV acting. Performances that ruled living rooms. Television acting categories reflected a golden age in full bloom. Leads delivered marathon performances across seasons, not scenes. Supporting actors carved out legacies with single looks, single lines, single episodes that audiences couldn't shake. The winners weren't just good, they were essential. Full list of 2026 Golden Globe winners. Presented in narrative form to preserve flow and prestige. The night honored excellence across film and television, with wins spanning drama, comedy, limited series, and performance categories. From breakout newcomers to established powerhouses, the winners represented a broad spectrum of voices and visions shaping the future of entertainment. Each trophy told a story, not just of a year gone by, but of an industry evolving in real time. What these wins mean for the Oscars race. Golden Globe wins don't guarantee Oscar gold, but they reshape perception. Timothée Chalamet's victory places a target squarely on his back. Every contender will now be measured against him. Every performance compared. Every campaign recalibrated. Meanwhile, films and performances that triumphed tonight gained legitimacy, momentum, and visibility, all currency in the weeks ahead. The race is on, and the field just narrowed. A ceremony that felt like a turning point. The 2026 Golden Globes weren't about nostalgia. They weren't about legacy. They were about now. New stars stepped forward. Established names reinvented themselves. Television proved it could outshine cinema. And one actor, Timothée Chalamet, stood at the center of it all, quietly claiming his moment. As the crowd filtered out, trophies in hand and campaigns freshly energized, one thing was undeniable. Hollywood didn't just celebrate the past year. It previewed the future. And after tonight, that future looks bold, unpredictable, and already written in gold.